Hey everybody, what I've got here is a Belarus Armed Forces 24-hour combat ration from 2021, and we're going to check it out right now on Kitbashed Survival. Alright, first things first, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Obviously, there's lots of news going on in this part of the world with Ukraine and Russia and Belarus and all that stuff. But the simple fact is that I bought this about 6 or 8 months before all that business started. And honestly, I want to open it up and eat it and review it before it goes bad. Because, well, for one, I spent quite a bit of money on it. And number two, the Belarus 24-hour combat ration is actually one of my favorites. It's an excellent combat ration, as you'll see. So I already reviewed a Ukrainian combat ration a while back, and I've got this, and then I've got quite a few Russian MREs and Russian combat rations. And for a while, I didn't know what to do. I thought, geez, should I review those? Is it right to review those? But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that these are not about politics. It's just a military ration, and that's how I see it. So let's go ahead and open it up and check it out. Alright, so it comes in this really cool camouflage cardboard box, which is pretty hefty. It weighs just over 5 pounds, or about 2.3 kilos. This here in the middle is the company or organization that makes these, and then around here it says something about the Trade and Defense Ministry, something like that. This says dry ration. And then you've got this seal here, sealed for your protection. So if you get one of these, make sure this seal is unbroken. Anyway, let's cut the string and break the seal. And there we go, it's a thing of beauty. And hopefully all of this stuff is still good. This is a 2021 kit, I believe. I'm not sure if it has expired yet. Some of these items will likely have expiration dates on them, so we'll find out. So it looks to be in pretty good shape. I don't see any leaks from the cans. Yeah, everything seems to be in good shape. So let's see what the table of contents says. Okay, so I ran the contents through Google Translate. I'm sure it's not an exact translation, but it'll do. So it says lunch menu, main menu, 3 canned items. Then number 1 is pate, number 2 is ham, 3 bread, 4 peanuts, 5 cookies, 6 toffees, 7 muesli, 8 coffee, 9 kissel, which is like a warm fruit drink, 10 sugar, 11 chocolate bar, 12 condensed milk, 13 a portable heater, 14 matches, 15 napkins, and 16 wet wipes. And then down here it says delicious food, and at the bottom it says Best Buy November of 2022. I'm filming this in June of 2022, so that is great news. We should be in good shape. So here we've got our 2 fruit drinks, the kissel, and this is meant to be drank as a warm beverage. So you add hot water. And the first time I had one of these, I'd never had kissel, and it seemed weird to me that you would add hot water to a fruit drink. I thought, well, wouldn't it be like fruit punch? And the first time I tried it, even though I knew you were supposed to add hot water, I tried it with cold water, and it was okay, but then the next time I tried it with hot water, and it actually was really good. It's better with hot water. So this is raspberry here, and this is, it says wild berry. It's got some calcium, I guess. Then we've got our pate, and it says chicken liver. I'm not sure if that means chicken and liver or chicken liver. I think it means chicken and liver pate. And I've had this before. It's very good. Then we've got our ham. It says European ham. Pretty cool. Got our first piece of candy. These are really good, as you'll see. It's one of those layered wafer bars with chocolate on it. Here we've got our peanuts. I love that guy on the front of these. Here's our bread. These bread crisps. These should be pretty good. This is the muesli bar, and it's got cherries in there. It's kind of like a granola bar. And here we've got our biscuits, or cookies, if you will. Kind of like shortbread cookies. Here is the sweetened condensed milk. This stuff is delicious, I gotta tell you. And there it is. I love this stuff. You can put it in coffee, you can put it on the crackers or the cookies. It's absolutely delicious. Now, the interesting thing about this is that the last time I opened one of these Belarus combat rations, it had the sweetened condensed milk, but it was in a different container. It kind of had a toothpaste tube kind of container. So it's always neat to see the variations they have. I mean, even within the same product, you'll have variations. So just because you see someone review one of these a few years ago doesn't mean it's going to be the same a few years later. So yeah, sweetened condensed milk. Yummy, yummy stuff. Here's our chocolate. Got a little cow there. These are wet wipes. And I guess they're grapefruit scented wet wipes, which is kind of cool. Here's our matches. Coffee. No, wait a minute. This is sugar. Caxap is sugar. This is the coffee. Freeze-dried coffee. And here's the portable stove. We've got some candy right here. Boiled sweets, if you will. Got a bag, which is nice. You know, you can use the bag for storage for leftovers and so forth. Oh, there's one more candy here. Look at the silverware. It's made of wood. How cool is that? But it's curved. Like you've got a spoon and a fork and a knife, all made of wood. I love that. And lastly, we've got our 3 canned entrees. So this is a beef stew. Obviously, it's got the cow on the front. The last time I had this, it was amazing. So I'm expecting good things from this can. It's like a beef stew. It's really fatty and it's got bay leaves in there. It is absolutely delicious. Or it was the last time I had it. And then this is the buckwheat porridge. And this is barley and beef. And that's it. So I don't think there's any right or wrong way or sequence in which to eat this stuff. I'm sure every soldier probably eats things a little bit differently. They probably trade stuff between each other, just like they do here in the US with MREs. So I'm going to split this into how I would do it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Oh, and I think I forgot to mention there are 2 plastic bags for storage, which is great. And we've also got some napkins over here. So here we are, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. And I may even end up eating some of these cookies for breakfast as well. So let's start with breakfast and go from there. Okay, I've worked up an appetite, so let's get busy with some breakfast. Now, when it comes to cooking the buckwheat with beef here, you could heat it up in the can using the portable stove that comes with this ration. And certainly if you were out in the field, that would be the way to do it. But I'm not out in the field, and so I'm going to do it differently because, well, for one, I'd rather save this thing to put in a survival kit in the future. And secondly, in my experience, heating these cans up with the portable stove has a major drawback, at least with the buckwheat with beef dish. You see, the can is pretty tall and the food goes all the way up to the top. And so when you have a flame on the bottom, in order to keep the stuff at the bottom from burning, you want to stir it around a lot. But that's hard to do because it's so tall and there's really no room to stir the food without the food spilling out over the sides. And so inevitably, some of the food on the bottom ends up burned. And the taste and smell of that burned food on the bottom, especially with this buckwheat, is absolutely disgusting and basically ruins the dish and makes it almost inedible unless, of course, you were absolutely desperate. So rather than doing it that way, I'm going to use a stove and a pot. And that way, it'll be easier to cook this stuff without it burning on the bottom. But first things first, let's make some coffee. Okay, and while the coffee is heating up, we'll work on the buckwheat with beef. Kind of looks like corned beef hash if you've ever had that. I hope this wooden spoon doesn't break. I'm trying to get all this stuff out. I'm going to go the easy route and just use this plastic spoon. Yeah, I'm cheating, but so what? Yeah, the last time I had this dish, it burned on the bottom, and like I said, the smell and the taste was just revolting. Got my MSR pocket rocket here. I think I might add a little water just to help stir it around. It's pretty dry out of the can, but I imagine as it heats up, the fat from that beef will start to make this thing really good. Okay, our water is done. Put this coffee in there. This stuff smells really good already. And as proof of that, my cats have wandered into the room, no doubt smelling this goodness. My cats are directly below the table licking their chops. Okay, that's good and hot. All right, let's crack open this sweetened condensed milk. And there's what it looks like. Kind of an off-white. Give it a taste. Oh yeah. Now it says the expiration is 3/08/22. I'm not sure if that's August 3rd or March 8th, but it tastes fine. I'm going to put some of this in the coffee. Coffee seems pretty hot. So we'll start with the buckwheat with beef. Like I said, it kind of looks like corned beef hash, but with buckwheat instead of potatoes and stuff. But let's give it a try. Oh yeah, that is really good. Oh man, that's delicious. Nice way to start your day. It's interesting that there's no salt or pepper with this ration, and I find that interesting. It's kind of like they're saying, hey, like it or leave it, we're not giving you any salt or pepper. But in my opinion, this doesn't need salt or pepper. It's perfect the way it is. Be nice if they had some hot sauce. I could definitely see hot sauce going with this, but they probably don't do that over there, so not a big deal. This is absolutely delicious. All right, let's try our coffee with sweetened condensed milk. Cheers. Oh, wow. That's good coffee. It's smooth. It's not bitter or anything. I'm going to add a little more of that. There we go. Oh, that is so good. I mean, how many combat rations do you know where you can basically have coffee and cream? It's incredible when you think about it. That is outstanding. You'll have to trust me. There's a reason the 24-hour Belarusian combat ration is one of my favorites. All right, let's try the chocolate wafer bar or chocolate waffle bar and see how it pairs with the coffee. There's the front of the package, by the way. Bumbada. I don't know how you say that. And you've seen these types of candies. It's chocolate with wafers. Not sure if that's dark chocolate or milk chocolate. It kind of tastes like dark chocolate. Either way, it's really good. Oh yeah, that pairs wonderfully with the coffee. This is honestly one of the best combat ration breakfasts I've ever had. Let's try some of these strawberry biscuits. I'm going to split these between breakfast and lunch. Now, these are the strawberry biscuits, but other 24-hour combat rations for the Belarus military might have these. These are raspberry biscuits. So I've had the raspberry, I've never had the strawberry. There it is. Got a little strawberry on there. These are great. It's just a really mildly sweet dessert cookie, kind of. I'm trying to think of a cookie that we have here in the States that this might compare to. It's on the tip of my tongue what cookie here in the States this is like, but you know, it's not hard, it's not too hard, it's hard, but it's also kind of soft on the teeth when you bite into it. It's great. Kind of reminds me of maybe a Pepperidge Farm cookie of some sort. Now, I'm going to try something I've always wanted to try, which is to put some of this sweetened condensed milk on one of these cookies. It's like frosting on a cookie. All right, let's give it a try. Oh, man. I mean, that's just borderline decadent in a combat ration. Now, when I reviewed the Ukrainian combat ration a while back, my girlfriend sat in and gave her opinion of the coffee and the chocolate and so forth. So let's have her try some of this stuff and see what she thinks. Okay, Lisa's going to try the Belarus combat ration coffee with the sweetened condensed milk in it. Now, she doesn't usually take cream or sugar in her coffee. She likes it black, but she's going to try it anyway.
It's sweet.
Sweet? Not a big sweet fan? Not in the coffee?
No.
Oh. So you would take it black?
It's not bad. It's just sweet.
Just sweet. Okay. So if you're not a fan of sweet, don't use the sweetened condensed milk. Yeah, so what more can I say about this breakfast? Delicious, 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 and you guessed it, delicious. This entire breakfast was amazing. So I'm gonna finish this and then I'll see you back here for lunch. Okay, time for lunch. So I'm gonna make this kissel, which requires hot water. So we'll get that going. And we'll get the beef stew going. So there it is. I like the picture of the cow. And the last time I had this stuff, it was amazing. Hopefully it'll be the same this time. So you can see all that fat in there with that beef. It just tastes amazing. Got some bay leaves in there. This is going to be really good. And you can see those chunks of fat coming out. And when that melts down with this beef, it's unbelievable. Oops, the pot was unplugged. Okay, there we go. It's got a little blue light on it when it's going, and I noticed the blue light was off. There's that kissel down in there. This is the wild berry. Oh yeah, look at that. Pot of bubbling goodness. Now this cooks in the can a little easier, but it's still a little more visual to do it in the pot. Alright, I think that's done. Oh, and right on time, the water is done. It says to use 175 milliliters of water. I'm just going to guess. It's probably right about there. Maybe. Look at all that juice. And then we've got some of the bread to go with the liver and chicken pate. Got some of those cookies left over, and I'm going to put some of that sweetened condensed milk on the cookies like I did for breakfast. This is pretty warm. I got to get a little paper towel to hold the plate. A little pot holder. Yeah, check that out. That is pure fatty beef goodness. Doesn't get any better than that, so let me give it a try. Oh my God. Oh, wow. That is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, it's not too salty. It's just perfect. It's savory. You got the juice, you got the fat, the beef is nice and tender. I mean, I couldn't offer any suggestions on how to improve this. It's perfect the way it is. Nice tender pieces of beef. That sauce. Let me get a spoon. Oh my gosh. You could take a bath in that sauce. It is so good. I could eat that every day. That's how good it is. All right, let's try some of the kissel. Cheers. Still a little hot. Man, that's good. I'll come back to that in a minute when it's cooled down a little bit. And try some of the pate. Ooh, got some juice coming out. It's got some nice juice in there. Oh, that's great. Completely different than the beef stew. Just a really good pate, mild, not too salty. You can taste the liver in there, but it's not overwhelming. It's great. Let's open up some of these toasts. There we go. Bottoms up. Oh yeah. What can I say? Everything in this combat ration is just fantastic. Now, here's what I want to try. Some of this toast to sop up some of this sauce with the beef. This is going to be amazing. That's the bite right there. Okay, so the beef stew is good with the toast, but honestly, I would just eat the beef stew by itself and save the toast for the pate and the ham later on. I think it pairs better with the pate than it does the beef stew. I mean, it's good with the beef stew, but the beef stew is so good, it really doesn't need anything else. So it would be kind of a waste to use all the toast with the beef stew. Although it would be good for sopping up all that gravy. So, you know, like I said earlier, there's no right or wrong to eating these things. It's whatever you like. Okay, that kissel should be a little more drinkable now. Let's give it another try. Nice pink color. Oh yeah, it's wonderful. And, you know, I've had this before, and even then, you know, 5 minutes ago, I was thinking, gosh, a hot fruit beverage on a hot summer's day. But even so, it's still great. Let's try another one of these cookies with sweetened condensed milk. I mean, you can drink this or eat it or slurp it on its own. It's that good. Don't tell anybody, but I'll probably put this in the fridge when I'm done with this review and just sip on it for the next couple days. Oh yeah. I gotta say it again, the cookies with the sweetened condensed milk, it is such a decadent treat, and to have that in a combat ration, it's outstanding. I mean, say what you will about the government and the politics over in that part of the world, they know how to make a combat ration. Put a candle in this and use it as a birthday cake. Now, if it seems like I'm in love with this combat ration, it's because I am. I mean, I would criticize parts of this combat ration if there was something to criticize, but everything in here is just fantastic. I mean, usually in a combat ration or an MRE or something like that, there's almost always something that's a little subpar that you can criticize or that could be better. And with this, in my opinion, it's close to perfection. Now, of course, that's just me. Other people might have different opinions and different tastes, but boy, this is great. I wish I could get more of these more easily and more affordably, because I'd add them to my emergency supplies, because, you know, if the shit hit the fan, this would make it a lot easier, having something this delicious. Better than any freeze-dried emergency food or anything like that. The kissel is pretty thick. It's kind of syrupy, but I like it that way. You could probably water it down if you wanted to, and for all I know, maybe I didn't add enough water, but I kind of like it thick like this. I've had it thin before, and it's better thick. Okay, I'm going to finish this up off camera, and then I'll be back in a few hours for a late afternoon snack. Okay, snack time. Let's check out the muesli bar with cherries. Got the muesli and then some chocolate on the bottom. Little cherries in there. Looks pretty good. Let's give it a try. Yeah, it's kind of like a granola bar. It's sweet, but not super sweet. I like it. Okay, I gotta try this. Here we go with the sweetened condensed milk again. 8.5% fat. This is gonna be good. They give you so much of this stuff. Oh man. I've come to the conclusion that You can basically put this on anything and it'll make it better. So my friend from Belarus was right when she said, what do you use that on? Anything you want. Well, that was fast. Now let's try the peanuts. Salted roasted peanuts, I would imagine. I love that little character on the front. That's so cute. Now, I've seen these peanuts come in different looking bags depending on which year and which variation of the 24-hour ration that you get. In fact, I might have another version of this bag. Hang on. Yeah, here it is. I think these came out of a previous Belarus 24-hour ration. But basically the same thing. Anyway. Let's give them a try. Nothing too fancy, just roasted peanuts. I mean, they're peanuts. What more can I say? They're good peanuts. They're salted, but they're not too salty, and that's probably a good thing because you don't want anything in this ration to be terribly thirst-provoking. So, yeah. Good roasted peanuts. Alright, I'll come back in a few hours and we'll wrap things up with dinner. Alright, finally here we are for dinner. Actually, I'm filming this on a Sunday morning because I'm on a diet right now and there's no way I could have all these calories and sugar for dinner. But we'll just pretend it's dinner time. Anyway, we're going to have our final entree, which is the barley with beef. Nice congealed goodness. Get our water going. For the kissel, we're going to have our raspberry kissel. This kind of looks like the buckwheat with beef entree. Looks a lot like it. Although it's called barley and beef. So I guess it's barley rather than buckwheat. 6-1 as far as I'm concerned. Alright. Yeah, this has got lots of nice congealed fat goodness in it. Look at all that congealed stuff at the bottom of the can. And it's going to melt under the heat and be really delicious, I'm willing to bet. Ugh. Get off me fingers. Some sizzle action right away. Just like I did with the buckwheat and beef, I'm going to add a little water just to make it a little easier to stir around. Ooh, I'm making a mess. It's kind of funny, I decided to cook it in a pot to avoid making a mess with the can, and here I am still making a mess. Our water's done. Alright, I think we're good there. My cats have reappeared in the room. They are smelling the goodness. Alright, so here's the barley and beef. See those big pieces of barley in there? Lots of good fat. Nice beef. Let's give it a try. Oh, man. I mean, they just can do no wrong with this ration. It's so good. And, you know, it's got a slightly different texture than the buckwheat with beef. That barley kind of has a creamy texture that sets it apart from the buckwheat. I like it. I think I like this better than the buckwheat with beef. Oh, man. The meat is tender. Perfect. Not a bad thing I can say about this. Now, what I'd like to do, which I didn't do with the buckwheat and beef, is add some hot sauce. Let's see what that does to it. Ooh, wow. That takes it to another level. Mm-hmm. If you have some hot sauce around, definitely add it. If you're a hot sauce kind of person. Oh my God. So good. All right, let's try some of this ham. Last time with the pate, there was juice that came out, so I'm prepared now. I'm expecting juice, and there's a little bit, kind of some congealed fat in there. Oh, here's my cat, Chessie. He says, I want some. You want some? There you go. There it is. I would call this a ham product. European ham. I guess that's what European ham is. The first bite I wasn't crazy about. The second bite was better. I mean, the first bite wasn't bad. It was just different. I was kind of expecting a, you know, a sliced ham kind of flavor, and it's a little bit different. But I'll try some of this on a cracker and see how it goes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely recommend eating the ham on the crackers, or on the toast, I should say. Although, like I said, there's no right or wrong way to eat this stuff. I'm sure some people would mix the ham in with the barley and beef, and that would be just fine. Yeah, that's really good with the toast. I keep saying wow over and over, but that's an honest reaction. This stuff is so good. And let's wash it down with some of the Kissel. This is the raspberry flavor, like I said, so cheers. Mm-hmm. Really delicious, just as good as the wild berry, you know, slightly different flavor, but excellent nonetheless. Let's try some of this chocolate. Got the little cow there. I'm assuming this is milk chocolate. Although it kind of looks like fudge. This seems to have the texture of fudge rather than chocolate, so yeah, that's fudge. Really good. No, you can't have any. All right, in goes the fudge.
Oh my gosh. Good.
It is good.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm.
Wash them down with the coffee.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So good fudge, but you wouldn't take sweetened condensed milk in the coffee. Take it black.
Mm-hmm.
I should have had you try it black before I added the sweetened condensed milk, but oh well. But hey, she's drinking it. Can't be that bad.
That fudge was good.
Well, there you have it. I'll try one of these candies. I'm going to finish this all up, but for the sake of finishing this video, let's try one of these candies. Boiled sweet. There that is. Trying to figure out what flavor this is. Mint. Okay, yeah, so it's mint. Very mild. Not super sweet, but sweet enough. I like it. You guys can't have any more. You know, there's so much congealed fat And this ham makes me wonder if you're supposed to heat it up. I'm sure you could. It's fine at room temperature too, though. It's kind of somewhere between Spam and pate. Okay, with this fudge, I gotta try it. Just because I've got so much of this left over. Fudge with sweetened condensed milk. Oh yeah. Man, is there nothing you can't put this stuff on? Now, I've kind of had fun putting this on various items in this ration, but of course, I'm sure this is in the ration for a very good reason. It's got 8.5% milk fat, so it's a good source of fat. It's probably got some calcium and protein, so definitely something that's good to have in a combat ration. Yeah, kind of smells like grapefruit. Nice and moist, and they smell good. Can't argue there. Yeah, so this is the Belarus Armed Forces 24-hour combat ration. Like I said, one of my all-time favorites. Everything in this ration is absolutely delicious. But let me know what you think in the comments below. For now, that's it. I'm Eric Siegel. This is Kit Bashed Survival. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.